You are a 1040 W-2 person or even a 1099 person, and every year for your entire life, you've always filed your taxes, paid your tax, which is nothing wrong with this, by the way. I'm just making an example. If you're the kind of person that's always dotted your I's, crossed your T's, 1099, W-2, always paid your taxes at the end of the year, like you're always doing your taxes, always doing your taxes, right? Sometimes you owe, sometimes you get a refund. If that's you, the system with the LLC should be very comfortable to you because it's an extension, it's like an amplification of what you're already doing. It's a statutory system. You're taking a leased governmental entity, which is an LLC, and following their rules, quarterly tax returns, doing your minutes, annual reporting. You're doing all these things that the government tells you you have to do in order to use that entity, so that at the end of the year you can pay capital gains tax every year because the government tells you you have to do that because of the entity that you're using. It's a lot of hoops to jump through to pay taxes. It's like what's that syndrome you have when you're in love with your oppressor? What's that called? Munchausen or something like that? Someone put it in here. It's like you're doing all that work, Stockholm, right? You're paying you're paying for the entity, right? You're doing that every year. You're doing all the paperwork, the minutes, your filings and stuff like that. You're doing all that just to pay capital gains tax at the end of the year. Just like in your person, you're doing all of this stuff just to pay taxes at the end of the year. Trust is completely different. It doesn't operate within the statutory system. It has full discretion whether it does this or doesn't do that. Whether it pays for this or doesn't pay for that. Whether it pays for it this year or doesn't pay for it this year. It has full discretion. In statutory system, you don't have that choice. You have to follow their roadmap. You have to follow their contract because it's a state-supplied contract, cookie-cutter contract, one-size-fits-all contract. While effective, it's as effective as you filing your taxes every year, 1040, and usually owing taxes at the end of the year. It's as effective as that. It's basically a larger version of that. And with his system, you also pull yourself a salary from the LLC, right? You pull yourself a salary. But you're doing all these extra things because the government tells you have to do it, because that's the contract you're using by using an LLC. Well, with a trust, you're not reporting to anybody, and you're still paying yourself a salary because you're managing the trust and the assets in it. So you pay yourself a salary to manage that stuff. But you don't have to report to anybody. So you're doing a lot less, and at the end of the year, you have the option to do different things with the capital gains tax. So okay, let me just lay it out for you. All right, so I can either